So it's in the 30s right now. It's supposed to get up to 50s today and then back down in freezing temperatures. Then tomorrow it's supposed to get up into the 60s and the nighttime temperatures down in the 50s. We may actually be able to sleep without the wood stove on. Tomorrow night, it'll be chilly when I get up in the morning. Running the wood stove with those kind of temperatures, that's going to be pretty hot if we don't open the windows or something. I might have to run the buddy heater before we go to bed, and then when I get up in the morning, I'll run the buddy heater again, depending on what the temperature is. And then I guess this is Monday, I guess on Wednesday, we're going to have rain in the afternoon. I think the temperatures get back up to 60s on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And then on Thursday, we're going to get snow. So we're going to go from what appears to be tornado conditions to back to winter. From what they're talking, you know, it's meteorologists, I have no faith in them, that it's going to be pretty significant. Now, last time it snowed, same thing happened. High winds, risk of tornadoes, lots of rain, and then it turned into snow for 2 days straight. And we got probably about 6 to 8 inches around here. I'm guessing. I didn't actually get a calculation. I need to prepare for this a little bit because I don't want my firewood to get wet. Sitting out here is going to get wet. If I come down here while it's wet and grab it and put it in the stove, it's not going to burn right. It's going to cause creosote and all the nightmare conditions that I had last year. So working very hard not to have wet wood go into the wood stove. Now, when it rains on or snows on the firewood, it is not a big deal. It takes a couple days, it dries off again. Or you can bring it in the house and it'll probably dry off within half a day. But I just don't want to risk it. And I'm tired of having to, I say tired, that's a wrong word, but for lack of a better word, I'm tired of having to test the wood every time I come down here and grab it. The wood is right on the verge of being at 20%. So this stuff right here on the north-south side is the best stuff we have found so far. It's 15 to 20%. Every now and then I find a piece that's 22%. So I wonder what this is. Looks like something tried to build a nest in there or something. It's got cedar and leaves. Very strange. Just now noticed that. That's interesting. I gotta get more bug spray down here. It looks like something was eating the wood. And that's another thing. Long term, as we're storing this firewood, you can buy Terminex and ant spray and just sprinkle this around here. It'll keep the termites off. And it's oak, and oak just lasts forever. So even if they were to chew a couple pieces, it's not that big of a deal. So these smaller pieces is what I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna hook up the lawnmower wagon. I'm gonna grab these smaller pieces because those are definitely dry. I have no concerns about that. Now the other day I was telling you that a lot of my firewood was falling over. And I felt like it might have been because of an earthquake. Now the earthquake happened way over on the east side of Missouri. We're over here on the west side, central to the west side. We didn't feel it, but right after the earthquake, all this firewood fell over. I attributed it to that. Well, then I had 2 more piles fall over there, and I showed you that like 2 days ago. Now, of course, you know, the critics are, well, you don't know how to stack firewood. Well, they don't know either. I mean, if you argue with them, oh yeah, I've been stacking firewood my entire life, sitting behind this computer watching YouTube videos. Now, one of the things we know we have a problem with is getting firewood the same length. You'll see all our firewood is different lengths because we get it from free sources. People cut down trees, cut them up in the logs, and so you look at this. This was a significant difference. So these are half-size logs. So trying to stack it so all these different sizes, it is difficult, I will admit. But somebody mentioned something the other day that I thought, yep, that's probably it. That's what's going on here. Is when the ground freezes, it raises up and down. I didn't think about this, but it does. You figure it rained, right? Rained pretty hard, the ground was pretty saturated. And then it froze the next day and snowed. That's about the time this fell over. So if the ground raised up, then it probably fell over. Well, what happened then was this fell over. You can see the tin has fallen down and everything. This has been here over almost 2 years, a year and a half, I guess. And it fell over. Why would it fall over? it's been there forever, but that makes sense. The ground froze and it fell over. Then I got the 2 stacks over there I showed you 2 days ago in between the trees that fell over. So now I'm starting to feel a little bit better about what's going on here. So I do appreciate the viewer who suggested that that's probably what it is. Not really sure how to resolve it, but at least I know what it is. I think Frenchie is just going a little bonkers. I assume that's Frenchie. So I'm going to get the lawnmower hooked up here, load up the wagon with some of the smaller stuff. The wagon's on the other side, so I'm going to try to grab the smaller stuff without knocking this pile over even more. I sure do like this lawnmower. This one just starts right up every time. I really think it's neat. It's incredible how it does so well. I had one other lawnmower before, and it really struggled in the wintertime. This one never has a problem. So what I'm doing now is I got to get backed up and turned around so I can get my tail into the wagon. They make some of these John Deere's, some of the more expensive models, with power steering. How cool would that be? Power steering lawnmower. I'm fine with what I got. I really like this thing. I really do like it. Now I'm going to continue to let the lawnmower run because I want it to warm up. I do that about every couple weeks. Just, you know, I'll do something with it, make sure that I can get it to run so the oil and everything gets through the cylinders, get all the old gas out of the carburetor, make sure I get fresh new gas in it so it doesn't stagnate and go bad. I had a cotter pin to hold that peg in there, but I lost it somehow, so I got to use a wire until I can get a new one. Carolyn's been cleaning up this pile over here. This is all came off the trailer. The original trailer that was up here when we built the tiny house, it just was laying down here in a heap of mess. So she's been cleaning this up quite a bit, giving us a little bit more yard space. You can see the wood piles that have fallen over. We'll get that cleaned up. So she's been making quite a bit of progress here, getting this cleaned up, just little pieces at a time. I couldn't do half of what I do around here. No, a quarter of what I do around here without these tire chains. I tell you, if you ever decide to live off grid and you're going to use the lawnmower as your tractor, get these tire chains. They're $50 and it's just the best investment. It's an additional $50 to your lawnmower cost. And it's a heck of a lot cheaper than buying the knobby tires. They're like $100 a piece. When you can convert your lawnmower into a tractor and it does everything you need on a little piece of property like this, it's well worth the cost. chickens are upset about something, but I can't figure out what it is. Usually if there's an animal around, they'll make all that noise, but I don't see anything. The only other thing I can think of is there's a chicken who is laying an egg for the first time. They tend to get upset about that, so, but they're usually not this upset. This is a cry for an animal, but I don't see anything out here. So I was gonna let them out, but I don't think I'm going to right this minute. Just in case there is an animal around here that I can't see, because I'd hate to let them out and all of a sudden something chase them around. They're calming down now. They're still upset. They got one buff over there. She's staring something down. I don't know. So I'm just gonna leave them in for a bit. Got the wood all carried over here now. I don't want to get too much over here. Usually I fill this porch up pretty full, maybe 2 or 3 trailers full, but I don't want to fill it up too full because we're starting to get later into the season now. It's late February, mid-February. So I'll just bring it over a little bit at a time now, 1 trailer full at a time. That way I don't have a bunch of firewood sitting here in the middle of summer. And of course I'd be too lazy to take it back. It'd be like, you know, those, why do I want to take it back? I just got to bring it back over here. Of course that'd be a nesting place for snakes and mice and all kinds of stuff. So if you'll check out this video, I'd really appreciate it. It's the up next box. That'll take you over to the other channel. I'd appreciate it if you check out the videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So I hope I can inspire you to find perfection when you're living your dream. Thanks for watching.